What's going on, everybody? So today's going to be a little bit of a different video for me because I'm not actually going to talk about anything technically like a pickleball paddle or a pickleball ball or, something like that. Well, the items I am going to talk about are the things I do use to do what we do here at DDOG Pickleball and pickleball, the pickleball space, all of that. This is a little bit more about some of the equipment and the behind the scenes. It's something I've wanted to share for a while, and I know that some people have found interesting, so we're just gonna go for it. If the video does great, great. If not, whatever. So, anyways, first and foremost, what is like the top thing we need usually is we need to be able to film gameplay and film, what I'm doing right now, which is recording, a review or a podcast or something like that. So I typically use a webcam for this, or I use my camera. Right now I'm using the Logitech C922 webcam. I also have a C920 that I've used at times. They work great for everything. They're relatively cheap. I think the Logitechs run anything from like $50 to $75 would be my guesstimation. Then I recently got the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, which is, let's power this puppy on real quick. What I use for a lot of the more in-depth photography. Sometimes I'll use it for reviews. Sometimes I'll use it for, you know, just simple things like product shots and photography. And then this light, I don't actually remember what specifically, but I gave the TikTok shop a try. It's the first and only time I've ever shopped on it. Um, kind of sketchy, but it did work nicely. I got this beautiful light along with a nice tripod and an AI facing gimbal and all that for relatively cheap. And here, I'll just show you guys quick. It can do a variety of colors. It can do regular. So this is just regular light here. Let me turn that down. That is way too bright right now. There you go. So you can just do regular color right now. As you can see, it goes pretty bright. So crank the brightness up. Woo! All right. Don't want to hurt anyone's eyes. So it's got a variety of modes it can do, stuff like that. So aside from that, I usually use this lighting rig with it. I could also put, it's a cold shoe, so I could put anything here I wanted to put, really. But these are some of the things I use for the product shots. Going into a little bit of more for the camera side. To film gameplay, I don't typically bring my camera to the courts with me. It just seems like a huge liability waiting to happen if someone accidentally bumps it, hits it, or whatever. You know, Cameras can run thousands of dollars on the nicer end, and well, this isn't the most expensive camera in the world. It is currently the only camera I have, so I don't really want to risk breaking it, in a liable situation. So that's where these come in. So I have right here, I have what are called action cameras. I have one, two action cameras. So I'm going to start kind of in order of the age they are. So we're going to go from oldest to youngest. This is the GoPro Hero 3 Plus. I think I was gifted this in like, God knows. This is well over 10 years old at the making of this video. So it's a very old camera. With that being said, it currently being 2025. With that being said, this thing is still a great little camera. Would I pay, 200 plus dollars for it at this point in time? No. But, if you can get one of these off of eBay for, 100, 150 bucks or, whatever, Amazon or whatever, wholesale retailer, third party, Facebook marketplace maybe type of thing you want to use, this is a great camera. So here it powers on just like this, just this front button right here. And it can do, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. We'll see if the webcam focuses real quick. Yep, it kind of did. It can do 1080 up to 60p, so 60 frames per second, which in my opinion is almost ahead of its time at the time of release for this. It comes, so if I take it out of this case that mine came with, this is what it would look like. It doesn't have legs on the bottom, anything like that. It is Again, the Hero 3 Plus, the silver one. Pretty simple. It's a rechargeable battery. So there you go. There is where the SD card goes, the HDMI, and the kind of the charger cable. So the only downside to this one is that it does not take a USB-C or regular USB. It has a cord that is specific to GoPro that I have that came with it, but that can be a bit of a pain in the butt, and that there's no slot in the case to plug it in. Those of you very familiar with action cameras are going to know the pain that some of these cases and things coming in and trying to plug things in. As for filming, there's no back screen. The front screen is very small. You're not going to actually see the video. Here, ready? I'll do a recording right now. So I can't actually, all I can see is the time going and the blinking light. So I know that I'm filming. When I stop it, there you go. Now it's stopped. So that is the GoPro Hero 3. I do still use this for mainly B-roll shots, so gameplay shots in our paddle reviews or kind of small stuff on court. I think I even did an interview on there once, and it came out fine. The audio's it's fine. It's GoPro audio. For those of you not familiar with GoPro, the audio's decent, but it could be better. So moving on, we have the Akaso Brave 8. So this has a back screen now and a front screen. This, to be honest, I'm not a fan of it. I took a leap when I got this. This is actually only of the three action cameras I actually bought. The other two I were gifted. And at this point in time, I would say, unless you don't mind, a little lower quality, stuff like that, and you're really trying to save money and have a good action camera, then sure. But in my opinion, pay the extra money, get, a GoPro or a DJI or one of these other brands that just has the backing behind it and can do what you want it to do. So I've struggled a lot with this camera at times. Audio is also not great on this one. The picture is not great on this one. It can die randomly, which they all can. Listen, they're action cameras. Their biggest flaw is their battery because of the size. It can be hard to get a good sized battery in a camera so small. But, you know, with that being said, this, I don't mind if this camera gets thrown around a lot, if someone bumps into it. It's not as big of a loss for me. So that is the Akaso Brave 8. Then finally, my personal favorite of them all, the GoPro Hero 10 Black. So I have mine in what's called the Media mod, and then I just have the little their version of the GoPro Cold Shoe on. I just don't have it screwed onto a tripod. I have plenty of tripods in the bag that I carry these in. It's just separate from my pickleball bag, and we'll use that with those or with a mount or something like that. And basically this, here I'll power this on. You might be able to see just how much better the picture quality is on this, let alone in general. It might be tough just because this is a webcam I'm recording on currently. So, but as you can see, both screens work at the same time. I can flip modes too. So I'm in landscape right now. I'm sorry, now I'm in landscape. I could go portrait. And so just a variety of, unique things. You can add this funky fancy media mod, which really improves your audio greatly. It also, in my opinion, one of the most underrated things, lets you plug a charger directly into it. Look at that. And hang on one second. A mic, an external mic, and it has a cold shoe right here. And up here is a micro USB port. Bam, look at that. Media Mod can solve a lot of problems. And I like getting the audio from the court usually if I'm able to. Nowadays, originally I would just film on mute, so stuff like the Akaso wasn't really a big deal to me, but now I'm trying to capture more and better content, so I try to use this whenever I can. If not, I use the GoPro Hero 3 Plus. At this point, I don't really use the Akaso. But if I needed to, really film something nice, I'm probably going to film it on my Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. So that's a little bit about the film equipment. Audio. Let's talk audio. So I have a lot of mics, guys. I'm going to be honest. A deal for those of you that are looking into XLR mics. Fat Toad is a brand I found. I found this on Amazon. I think they also have a website, stuff like that. You can get six XLR microphones for $60. That's $10 a mic. And they come with the little head for the tripod that you need. They don't actually come with the little mic stand or tripod, but you can get them with, the heads here. Let me grab one quick. I grabbed some tripod heads too to show you these as well. But this is what I mean. $10 a mic. Probably the best deal in audio right now. Fat Toad. Check them out. They sound, they sound decent. I'm going to be honest. They're not the greatest microphone out there, but it does the job. And, you know, you look like you're singing. You could look like you're just chatting. It's just your regular, microphone of this kind of spec. Then I also have the Zoom mics as well. I really like these. These are what we use to live stream normally, as well as do some content here. Sometimes I'll screw this one on here and I'll use it if I want better audio on the computer. But the mic I'm currently using, here, I'll try and hold it up for you guys, is the Blue Yeti. I've been using this. This is actually the first microphone I ever bought. I've been using this for about year and a half to 2 years now, maybe even more technically, and it works great. I do have a couple of qualms with it not being, adaptable to other mic stands and all that as well, and I do wish it was like the Fifine I have and the other place that I record sometimes where it can go USB and or XLR. So this only being USB does limit it, and I think it's a little just a touch overpriced, but I get good enough audio for you guys to hear me clearly. There's no crazy background noise, white noise, or anything like that. So it works. And then, like I promised, here's an example of a little mic stand and the mic holders for the Fat Toads. And then this thing's on more of what I would call a base than a mic stand. Just came with the microphone in general. But yeah, I mean, look, mics, you can go cheap, you can go nice, you can go really nice. Like, I recommend, whatever will give you good audio to your level of what you want, go for it. So it's going to vary from person to person. But yeah, so we can do a little tour quick of what I'll call the studio, which is just a little kind of tiny portion in where I'm at currently that I will be, working on paddles in or stuff like that. So without further ado, let's move it on over to the camera and do a little recording. All right, guys, so here we are. This is my desk setup and chair. This is what I was just recording from, the Logitech C922. I have a little ring light. It's not normally covered in stuff like this, but because I was just giving that kind of product example, that's why it's all here. And yeah. So then we have over here, this is my dedicated camera bag. This is my action camera bag. So all those GoPros and the Akaso that you saw go in there. Then this is my pickleball bag. Holds about 6-ish paddles comfortably with cases on. I could shove more in there. I could shove more in here without the cases on. I usually try to go no more than 6 to the quarter at a time, but it depends on the week. And then a shoe bag just for shoes, which I don't think there's any in here right now. Yeah, there isn't, but if there was, they would be in there. And then these are actually my brother's guitars. He loves them. Yeah, so we have the DDOG paddle here. Just show you both sides of it so you guys can see it. I'm really liking this side more lately. I like that kind of mini logo better than the big one. The hat, the swing weight, graffiti, the twist weight adapter. I'll show you where that is in a moment. And then these are some mic stands for some XLR mics. We have what everybody's looking for right here in some paddles. Some are missing currently because I'm testing some. There are more kind of in storage in other parts of the home here. And we go under here. We have some cords, some storage things. This is actually really helpful. This is my movable outlet. Then kind of more audio dynamic stuff here. Then there you go. Look at that. There you go. There's your pickleball paddle, huh? Yeah. So we have that. Then we have, this is what I would call the pickleball shelf. And this is just a variety of, stuff I might be, using or adding grips to, or, cleaning or whatever it is, organizing. Move over here, yoga mat, thing of balls, got to be able to drill, got to be able to hit the courts, hit the ball. And then this is some more tech stuff that we'll talk about another time. But over here, we have what I call the product shoot setup. I do need to get a better black screen. I will be fully transparent about that. It's not a great black screen, but it does the job for now. So I usually just leave a ring light and a tripod set up so I can screw the camera on, whether it's this way or that way. And from there, this is where my twist weight adapter for the graffiti is. It holds the paddles in nicely like this, usually. And then I could take a paddle and put it in there. That's always cool. And then this is a spinner. Here, see if I can turn it on. There you go. Now it would spin the paddle around, stuff like that. Pretty cool. Great way to shoot some fun product shots. Overall, a really enjoyable, portion of this can be some stuff for the kind of product side of things as well as the video side of things. I definitely learned and enjoyed a lot of the videography more through doing this. And so I definitely encourage you guys, if you haven't really been able to check it out yet, definitely check out, some of the stuff that we're using, as well as, some of the cool things like we're doing, a lot of, head cam and like body chest cam footage, while playing. I think it's really cool stuff. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you like more of this content or not.